Before earphones put music inside our heads, and before tiny Bluetooth speakers made it polite, there was a machine that blasted your favorite songs for the whole neighborhood to hear. It was heavy, it was loud, and for one glorious decade across America, the boombox was king of the street. It was more than just a portable stereo. It was a declaration of presence, a cultural icon you carried on your shoulder, and the unapologetic, bass-thumping soundtrack to American life in the 1980s. To understand its power, you first have to remember what the world was like before it. Music was mostly an indoor activity, tethered to a living room hi-fi system, or it was a tiny, tinny sound coming from a small transistor radio. The idea of carrying powerful, high-fidelity sound with deep bass out into the world was pure science fiction, until it wasn't. Mom. The name boombox itself perfectly captured its essence, stemming from its often boxy design and powerful bass-boosting speakers that produced a distinct, window-rattling boom. And as the decade wore on, a friendly arms race began. The demand for louder sound and deeper bass resulted in larger, heavier models, some even as big as a suitcase. These weren't just simple radios. They were mobile command centers for music. High-end models were equipped with features and sound quality that rivaled some home stereo systems, boasting dual cassette decks for making mixtapes on the fly, graphic equalizers to fine-tune the sound, and an array of chrome knobs and flashing LED lights. To power these portable beasts, most boomboxes ran on batteries, with some of the larger models requiring as many as 10 or even 20 D-cell batteries, which might only last for a single day of continuous use. For frequent users, the cost of batteries became a significant expense, a weekly sacrifice at the altar of loud music. While its roots were planted firmly in the urban soil of cities like New York, where it became an essential element of the rising hip-hop culture, the boombox's influence quickly spread everywhere. From the sun-drenched beaches of California to the basketball courts of Chicago and the shopping mall parking lots in the Midwest, the boombox was the sound of youth claiming their space. It became deeply intertwined with hip-hop, with figures like Fab Five Freddy crediting it as instrumental in the genre's rise. It was the centerpiece of every breakdancing battle, the altar around which dancers would lay their piece of cardboard and showcase their moves. It was the rhythmic engine for a cultural revolution. This cultural significance was cemented in American media. In Spike Lee's iconic 1989 film, Do the Right Thing, the character Radio Raheem carries his massive boombox everywhere, blasting "Fight the Power." His boombox wasn't just an accessory, it was his voice, his identity, a symbol of pride and defiance. Iconic groups like the Beastie Boys and Run DMC embraced the boombox as part of their identity, often appearing with one in photo shoots, while rock bands like The Clash always had one in tow on tour. Certain models, such as the JVC RC M90 and the Sharp GF7M7, gained legendary status, known as Boombox Kings, for their power and ability to overpower others in music battles on the street. But the very thing that made the boombox an icon, its ability to make music a loud, public affair, also led to its downfall. This wasn't just personal listening, it was public broadcasting, whether the public wanted to listen or not. As these devices became more ubiquitous, their loud presence started to create frustration, becoming a symbol of disruption in places that should have offered some peace, like parks or public transit. Cities across the country began to ban them from public spaces, and the cultural tide began to turn against them. The 1990s marked a turning point for the boombox, as its dominance in popular culture began to wane. The introduction of a more personal, compact device, the Sony Walkman, made the idea of carrying a large, heavy boombox seem less practical. The Walkman represented a cultural shift towards an internalized, private musical experience, the complete opposite of the boombox's public declaration. As boombox enthusiast Lyle Owerko once put it, by the end of the era, the culture had become a caricature of itself, the impression of what's real, but it's not the full definition of what's real, it's just cheesy. The decline in demand was reflected in industry numbers. According to the Consumer Electronics Association, only 329,000 boombox units without CD players were sold in the United States in 2003, a stark contrast to the 20.4 million sold at their peak in 1986. Today, the boombox is a powerful nostalgic relic, a reminder of a time when music wasn't just something you listened to, but something you shared loudly and proudly with the entire world. What song would you have blasted from your boombox back in the day? Let us know in the comments below.